So Tom and Gary for Mine Exploration, welcome back to the channel, and thank you to all the subscribers that have continued to support us. We do really appreciate it, and if you like the video, hit that like button, because it does give us the incentive just to crack on with making these videos and things. So today we've come out to the Hudeshope Valley again, leading on from last week where we discovered that adit with very poor air quality, but I found a bit more information. So we're coming up to explore the Hudeshopehead lease, which dates back to 1809 from the Chaters & Co. company. Unfortunately there wasn't much information kept back then, so quite what work the company did, it's a bit unclear. However, the London Lead Mining Company did take over the lease in later years, and they kept excellent records, so from about 1888 we can sort of see quite clearly what was going on up here. But we've arrived down to this first adit, which you can see behind, which we think is actually Racket Gill low level. It's a bit confusing, the Racket Gill lease, again because of the dodgy records of the time, but obviously there's Racket Gill further down the valley that we've seen before in one of our other videos, and this seems to be the low level, and we're going to make our way, if I spin round, heading upstream, which takes us up to the Hudeshopehead. It might be hell for all I know. Hudeshopehead series of workings. There should be a low level and a high level. Both were started, according to the records, by the London Lead Mining Company, and previous to that was Chaters who discovered the lease and or discovered the vein and what have you. So we'll have a wander up and see what we can find. I'll quickly show you around this one though, the Racket Gill low level. And it is open if I climb on the top, as you can see down there. I haven't got the light on the camera, so I can't light it up at the minute. I'll fit that later on. But it only goes in sort of a couple of yards. There's really nothing in there to see. Right, so we're getting there. We've come up to quite a distinctive part of the river where there's like an Sbend that you can see straight from Google Earth and stuff. So that sort of marks the position of where these mines would start from Chater & Co. Later the Lead Mining Company. So I've got this old map here in front of us, which you can see, it's quite a complicated map. But it shows all the veins and everything like that on here, as well as the underground workings. So it's quite a comprehensive, quite a complicated map of where things were. So it looks like somewhere sort of over this side, there's a lot of spoil heaps and things over there. It looks like somewhere over that side is the Hudeshopehead upper level or high level. Somewhere down here should be the low level. Now I've been up and down this valley quite a few times over the years, and I don't ever recall having seen a low level down at this point here, but we'll have a bit of a mooch around. It could be that this map isn't actually that accurate, because I mean it's quite a, you know, being now pencil drawing to begin with, so it might not have been amazingly accurate. So I know there is two mines further up the valley. It could be referring to them, but having said that, they're beyond the Y split in the river, which these are clearly before the Y split. So I think we'll head up here somewhere and go and have a butcher's and see what we can find up there. But it's hard going up here, quite steep. I feel like a sea manatee. I've eaten one too many pingoos. Well, we've been up here for a couple of hours now having a mooch around, and we still can't find them. And I think it appears that the old map that we've got is actually marked wrong, and now looking at it I can see why. I'll put a map on the screen so you can see what we're looking at now, but I think the author of the map, I mean it's going back right into the early 1800s when it was first put down on paper. I think he's gone up the river and marked the two adits, one junction before it actually is on his map. So if you're looking at the map there, I'll circle the Sbend in the river, but he's marked the two adits before the Sbend, or too early if you like. If you follow the river up, you can see there's two mines which are from a 1888 map, Ordnance Survey map, and you can see there there's two mines at the same sort of pitch. So to me, now that we've sort of had the right good explore up here, and it was hard going, I'll tell you. We've had to have a canny rest before doing this part of the video, but it does appear that the locations of Hudeshope, the Hudeshope mines is incorrect, so we'll crack on. We'll go, it's quite a lot further up the valley, beyond that Sbend there. You can see on the map where the Y junction is. We'll go and have a look at, well, what we've now determined actually is the Hudeshopehead lease. So join us back in a couple of minutes. On our way up to the top of the valley, and we come across this pile of stones which looks rather interesting, so we've just detoured a bit. As you can tell from me breathing, we've climbed up further to investigate what this is. It looks a bit coarse though, doesn't it? It's almost more like surface quarrying or something rather than mining, which tends to be finer. And if we're looking here, I don't think it looks like I don't think there's been an adit here. Just looking around in this piece, is that natural or is it built? If it's natural, it means potentially this is the mine, or sorry, if it's man-made, of getting it the wrong way around, it means that this could be the mine here. What do you think? Do you think this is the remains of a passage? Is it worth having a bit of a poke and seeing what's in there? Right, so you can see behind us what looks to be an exploration level. I don't think this is the top level. Looks too small and the spoil heap's not big enough, although it does actually say on the old texts that it had a very small spoil heap, almost no spoil heap. So, but I think this is, I mean, there's small and there's tiny. But if you want to have a look in this, so you can see that looks like it possibly was a level, but judging by where it is on the hill and the amount of spoil, I don't think that that came to anything. So we're going to crack on, go further up the hill and in search of the higher level. I might not go too close to him. He looks like he's poised, ready to bite. Look at his face. Yes, I'll leave him well alone, I think. Yes. Oh wow, look at this valley here. This is amazing, and I can see some timber work up the top there. This is something we're going to have to go and have a look at. Wowzers. Look at this there. Several waterfalls. There's a nice one right at the top there. It looks like there's been a bit of a fall on the right hand side, just with erosion and things, but what a beautiful valley this is. Nice warm day as well. Yeah, so we're getting there. We've still got this valley and another one to cross to get to where we're going. I don't know if you can see behind us, I'm not sure whether it's too far away, but over here that would be the low level, if you like. And then if I spin round, you might be able to see up here somewhere there's another spoil heap, which it's well overgrown. Obviously it looks quite old, but that's where we're headed to. That should be the high level. So well, this valley looks beautiful, absolutely stunning. Gonna have to come and have a look at this, I think. Right, at the top of the spoil heap, massive entrance, really quite wide. Spin round, can you see it there? It's not much of a path going to it, mind you. Oh ho ho!
Just you there.
So the shoes. So it looks like they did have a railway system coming up here for the carts and that to get the ore away. I imagine that was down to the London Lead Mining Company rather than Cheaters. Let's go and have a look. Oh wow. What a beautiful valley as well. It's a nightmare getting up here for them. Look at the width of it. Plenty of water coming from the mouth. So it's not that time the sun's really come out. I think I'm going to sit and eat a banana and then we're on butchers there. The sun's right in my eyes. Still out of breath. So I'm going to eat a banana, have a drink. We're going on butchers to see what's in. This is why I love mine exploring, because you don't always get to find mines and stuff, but it's just about being out in the beautiful countryside here in the UK. Especially on a day like this where it's not too warm, it's only about 12 degrees or something, but it's nice warm sun on your face. A bit too warm when you've wrapped up before you came up. Like a biscuit. Oh, okay, thank you. Yes, I've got one in my bag. Right, so we're just about to go and have a quick look and see what we see inside. I'll give you a bit of the history of this place. This place was founded by Cheaters and Company back in 1809, which ultimately discovered the place. But then it was Robert Bainbridge. You'll know Bainbridge from the fountain that's in the centre of middleton-in-teesdale. I think he's also got a fountain in Mount Ted as well. I haven't seen that, but I believe it's there somewhere. But anyhow, Robert Bainbridge, of course, has worked for the London Lead Mining Company, and he directed them to start digging here in search of the Hudeshopehead vein. Now the vein runs behind us. It's probably about 200 metres underground that way, and it runs from east to west. This is the top level that we're at now, so this was put in to try and get a bit nearer to that vein. But I think they actually stopped before they reached it. Instead they concentrated on the lower level, which we'll see a bit later on in the video. And that was driven for about 630 metres. And it did intersect the vein, but they found it to be totally without mineralisation, so it was a complete waste of time. Hence why you don't see any minerals in the spoil heaps or anything like that. Which was a shame really, because if they kept going, they would have hit the, what's it called? The Western Hope Cross vein, which is the one that sort of comes down from Flushymuir and all that sort of thing, and right up far north there. Now that was much more wealthy, if you like, so there was a lot more mineral in that one, although it's still a poor vein really by all accounts, but there was still a lot more minerals to be had up there. So if only it carried on, they would have cracked into that. But this place was abandoned by 1893, so it only worked well from 1888 to 1893, so it was, you know, only 5 years. So actually it goes 630 metres in 5 years. That's pretty good going. But it was going through a lot of shale, so shale of course is easy to mine, but mine explorer's nightmare because it's just so loose and stuff. But that's a bit of the history of the place. Anyway, history lesson for today over. So we're going to go and gear up, have a look in this one. I don't expect it to go very far. I'll put a link up of the other the lower adit as well underneath this video. That was the one that we made 2 weeks ago, where we explored in, well, quite a few hundred metres we went in there, but it turns out that the air got that bad that the meter was going off and things, and we've got our meter set pretty low as well, so it did get pretty bad in there. Certainly wouldn't advise anybody to go in, that's for sure. So anyhow, enough chit chat, we'll toggle up and let's have a look what's in here. So, deep water, straight away. There is a collapse on the hill just above us here. So, oh, it does go. Oh, Mr. Mason. That is really deep water. I'm struggling with Mr. Mason here. No, I ain't going in there. I'll give you a good view of it if I can. That's like quicksand, that. Going up over my waist. Well, that's disappointing, isn't it? But that's like quicksand. Can I give you that, please, Mr. Mason? No, I ain't going in there. Yeah, it's not the water, it's the mud. It's just far too soft and far too deep. So the water's up to about your waist, and I could see down the adit, and there's a ceiling height of, well, upper torso, I suppose. So I'm not saying you couldn't get in, but you're going to get wet. I think, to be honest, it's one of these that you might be best off going in the canoe or something. I don't know, but the mud is not for walking in, that's for sure with that one. Never mind, at least we can rule it off. So we led off back down. You can see the spoil leaf just behind us there. There you are, just in the picture. So we'll just follow that back down, and we'll come to the lower adit. And I'll put up on the screen a clip from us going down in there. We won't go back in there again because of the air problem that we had. And then we'll move down the valley from there. So as you can see, as we're moving around the spoil leap, in the old text it's described as having a very slight spoil leap, which I presume is this. Just pure shale. No mineralisation whatsoever. Is it a shaft or something? Ah no, it's got a ridge tile there, hasn't it? Looks like it might have been a house or something, a mine shop. We can see here, that was the obvious entrance there. You can see the wall just curving round. See, that was the back wall or something there. And as we go around, you can see there's a tile, a slate. There's a ridge tile, which is a bit unusual, that, isn't it? Let's have a look at it. I won't walk over the middle just in case. Yeah, so we can see here, look, we've got, ooh, there's a trap underneath it, so I'm not going to put my fingers in there. But you can see there's a tile with a hole in for the nail. And then here, look at this. Cast concrete or something, so yeah, it is. So this must be part of quite an old mine shop, something from London Lead Mining Company sort of era, I would say. And if we look here, you can see there's a nice circular sort of notch cut out of the stone. I wonder if that was for like a gate stop or something, or a door stop. So we've now come down to the low level adit, and this is one that's driven below the low grit sill for about 630 metres. It's got a bit of a bigger spoil leap than the other one, a bit more noticeable from afar, but it's still pretty small considering the distance that they've mined it. Put your lights on, and let's wind this down a bit, all the way down to there. There we go. Yes, it does go. Slight hole. Ah, now, straight away there's a bit of a fall ahead of us. So, looks like we've had a bit of a fall here. We've got a small little junction there on the left, just a little hidey hole. And my favourite shell. How we love shell. Chose a shell. We do tend to get a lot of gassy areas as well, I've found. But there's no vein now. If we're looking round, see, if we look at the ceiling, there's no sign of any vein of any sort. So I wonder why they keep going. Now it looks like it takes a right turn. So this is all very interesting, isn't it? But don't worry, we're monitoring it. So monitoring the air, should I say. So we will stop when it gets to the point where we think it's not reasonable to continue. Yeah, this is the end. So if we go a bit further, oh, perhaps not. So this is the low level, so you can see why Bainbridge came up here and he thought it'd be a good idea to mine, because you've got Pike which is over to the west, which is this way. You've got Eggleston, which is that way. Eggleston mine shop, of course, massive concern over there. And you've got Colbury directly behind us to the south. So it seemed like a good idea at the time, and of course they knew about the veins from the Chater & Co beforehand that had discovered you know, the Hudeshopehead vein, which, like I say, from this portal here is about 630 odd metres north. So pretty much that's it. So we've had a bit of an explore of the valley. If you check out our other video, which is us exploring this mine all the way through to the point that you know, the air was getting a bit dodgy. Shame we couldn't get in the other adit. Well, we could get in it, but you know, if your spidey senses say that it's going to be too dangerous with that, with all that soft ground in the entrance, then you know, if you think it's too dangerous, then don't do it, which is what we'd always say to anybody. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. We're going to make our way back down the valley now, head back to the car and stuff. But it has opened a few other doors to other things, because we found a few things on the way as well. So we'll be back for you again at some point. I know there's a few other mines in other areas that we might splash out into in the coming videos, because I don't want to spend too much time up here, you know. But give us a thumbs up if you liked it, and thumbs down if you absolutely detested it, if you hated it. And if you don't subscribe, please consider subscribing, and you know, we'd really appreciate it. So from Tom and Gary, cheers for watching, and I'll see you again next time.
Yeah.
It's a tasty lolly, that, Gary. Oh, fucking Jesus fucking Christ.
I think we still got that on the video.
Oh, yeah.
Still recording another clip.
Oh, shit.